Hey everyone, this is Arado and we're here to talk about the two exchange tickets we have as part of the 2.5 year anniversary where we can get our select Romancing Fest characters starting from last December all the way to the first Romancing Fest banner. But before we start, I want to give a quick shout out to Sato-san with the really cool Orluge artwork we have on display. When you have the chance, please visit Sato-san's Twitter page via at Ultima Patria. He has a lot of Saga Frontier 1 artwork, especially the Mystic ones. And then he does some other artworks as well, like the recent Minstrel song. He did a cool Hawk artwork. So yeah, give it a visit. He does so much cool artwork that I use either on videos or streams. And yeah, with that, we are going to start with the exchange tickets. So as you can see, I have my recommendations here with Final Empress and Halloween White Rose. Unfortunately, Virgil didn't make the list, but Virgil is always SSSS tier character for me. Just an FYI. And yeah, before everybody believes me, especially if you're new to my channel, I always rallied for Virgil. He's my favorite character. And if in even though the old style is not on the list, if you don't need a tank with BP battery, then don't pull for Virgil. Or if you don't need a row farmer, then don't pull for drummer Virgil. I just love Virgil. That's why I put that, little Easter egg there that says SSSS tier character. Okay, serious mode now. So one of my recommendation for the two exchange tickets we have is Final Empress, and it's because of Imperial Shield. So Imperial Shield is a really strong, I would say, buff to the party because it gives a damage block to everyone for that turn, and it doesn't have any limit. So doesn't matter how many times you get attacked, you would get zero damage for the entire party. So even to this day, there is no such capability in JP other than, Paean of Protection and recently the latest Dragonfest Bune having damage block one time that can be used as long as you have the BP. It can be used anytime to buff that to the party, but it's just one time compared to Imperial Shield where there is no limit. And then this Banquet Final Empress also has Scrum Guard. So Scrum Guard in Global has 20% defense to everyone, given that everybody is still alive. And as we all know, Scrum Guard is very useful in hard content because it allows for better survivability for the party, especially for squishy characters that don't have any defense passive with them. And lastly, this Final Empress also has Quadruple Moonstrike. So Quadruple Moonstrike is an 11 BP, but you gain 4 BP back because it does 4 random hits. And then for each hit, you get 1 BP plus 1 rebate. The reason for that is, you know how we have Summer Final Empress style, and we inherited Quadruple Moonstrike on her for single target farming. So that would be the same with the upcoming Christmas style, where that Christmas style would start with 12 BP, and that Christmas style also ends the turn with 2 BP, gaining 2 BP. So in turn, if she uses Quadruple Moonstrike, that she would gain 6 BP overall, and being able to use Quadruple Moonstrike more often. So yeah, Final Empress in general is pretty solid this style for hard content, especially if you have Moonlight inherit, because that would allow her to heal one time and then use Imperial Shield twice. She also has Iron Wall, so she's just all out defenses and just for hard content in general, and pretty reliable character even to this day in Global. And I would say she would still continue to be reliable even in JP. So the other character I recommend is Halloween White Rose. So Halloween White Rose, in my opinion, is still one of the best will buffer in the party, in the roster rather, because she buffs the party with Will when she gets attacked, regardless of whether she gets hit or dodges that attack. And then she also has an on demand skill, Pumpkin Party, that buffs willpower further. Other than that, she has Ray of Hope for healing, and then Photo Spear Shot for debuffing endurance and willpower for the enemy. The main reason for will buffing is has been I would say it has been important to buff will for hard content and for attacks and whatnot. Even to this day in JP, I don't know if any of you saw my romancing saga minstrel song Tower Runs. That willpower buffing is very very important. Um, if you gotta choose between willpower and physical and endurance buffing, a lot of times physical attacks are single target as far as the enemy goes, and please don't quote me on that, because there's certain enemies that does a lot of AoE. So a lot of times if there's hard hitting magic for that hard content boss. It's usually single target for physical, so you would suffice with a tank and willpower buffing. Hence why I recommend White Rose for that. Even though the White Rose is squishy, she as long as she doesn't get hit or there's some good defenses on your party, that she would still be helpful for the party overall. And also, I would like to highlight that with Pumpkin Party and for the turtle method we have right now, with Matriarch casting Paean of Peace, and then you have someone with extra small healing with you in the party, that allows that extra small heal to heal around 300, 320 HP, which is pretty good with our current HP cap right now. So that's why Halloween White Rose is up there with the top two recommendation along with Final Empress. And then I would like also to highlight for Final Empress. So the Imperial Shield, even though you take 0 damage, you still take the enemy's hit. So if that enemy's hit has extra effects on it, like say poison, paralyze, stun, and whatnot, so um your characters would still get stunned, paralyzed, or what have you, because of getting hit by the enemy. And also there's also that caveat where if you get if you get buff with Imperial Shield, but you get inflicted with stun, paralyze, sleep, and petrify, that Imperial Shield's effect will be nullified, and so basically you won't have the damage block. So that's some important points that you have to remember, because so as compared to damage block, with Matriarch's Pioneer Protection where you deflect one attack, so it counts as a deflect, so you don't take the enemy's damage, and you also don't get hit with the enemy's attack. So in turn, you don't get any of the extra effects like stun, paralyze, and what have you. And then I would also like to highlight about Matriarch first style. I know a lot of you would highly recommend getting Matriarch first style. As you know, Paean of Victory has been the pillar of hard content in Romancing Saga because of the dodge strategy. But with how the game is evolving right now, that dodge strategy is no longer as useful as how it was before. So I don't think there is significant value for Matriarch to be your choice for this one. However, if you use Matriarch in Remembrance Battle, which most likely you're gonna use, that you would be able to dodge certain attacks with Rapid Stream, and then you keep on casting Paean of Victory. There's some attacks, as I recall my Remembrance Battle in JP with Wyvern, because that's how I dealt with Wyvern for spear and sword and staff, where I had Matriarch do Paean of Victory, and then there's certain attacks where I always get hit no matter what, and I don't understand why. So that's why if you wanna rely on dodging in Remembrance Battle, just take note that it's not gonna be 100%. There's gonna be certain attacks where it would still hit you, even though you already have the agility buff all the way for you. The reason why I also mentioned sword and staff is because in the future there would be we would have the summer banner, with Bune and Leslie and those characters, and the free unit in that one is Rocky. So Rocky, I have made a feature video of that in the past, where Rocky has the Doom or Ponpoko in JP. So the Doom is a buff skill where it buffs agility for the party. So agility, strength, and dex, I believe. So that's why if you're just up for Matriarch to get Paean of Victory, if you can wait for Summer Banner, everybody would get Rocky, and then we would have access to Ponpoko or the Doom. The other character that has that same skill, Ponpoko or the Doom, is Sword White Rose, which is part of the Wedding Day banner. So that's why I mentioned Sword and Staff, because that is White Rose's sword style. She would be able to use Ponpoko in that one, and then she can inherit that on her staff styles. The ones we have now, plus the filler one. So yeah, you would be able to use the dodge strategy if you would like. That's how I dealt with Wyvern Remembrance Battle for staff, and that was really stressful, but I was able to clear it. So yeah, good with that. And lastly, I know some of you would like to collect certain characters with all the styles, and that's not wrong at all. Um, Again, these tickets are given to you, and it's a matter of preference for you of what you need for your box or what you would like to have for your box. Remember, Romancing Saga is a cross Saga world game where all your favorite characters can be in one party, even though they're of different series. So it is your chance right now to get all your favorite characters if you're missing them, and be able to use them, just like how you thought of when if you think that the Saga universe in as a whole won't won't be in a biggest crossover, just like this mobile game. um Also, for farmers, I think the best option for farmer would be Leon, because Leon is unique with Imperial Assault and the skill number 3 with the buff. Other than that, all other farmers in the pool will get overpowered with higher damage passive with tension 7, or extra attacks in the passive, and so on. So farmers are always overpowered, and as long as you have specific AoE, row, column, single target, I think you're good. You don't have to gather all of the elements for the different farming type for you to succeed in this game. I mean, for me in JP, I used UDX Matcha and Dowd if there is a Pierce farming. That's prior to having my good Pierce farmer now. And I remember when the game hit 3 years or 3.5 year, I was still using 2.5 year characters, and they still do good in farming. Not as optimized as the new characters, but I can still farm good. It's still fast-ish. So I would say focus on hard content characters if you can. And if you would like a full readout on that, I believe Sigefried in Reddit made a wall of text post about it, and it's a really good read you to for you to be motivated to pull for hard content units from this exchange ticket rather than a farmer. Unfortunately, you can't pick Virgil because Virgil didn't make the cut. So yeah, but Virgil is always SSSS tier character in my eyes. So But yeah, that's my opinion with these exchange tickets. And again, please visit Sato-san's page if you have the chance. His Twitter handle is at Ultima Patria. Saga Frontier 1 artwork. A lot of cool stuff you can see. And again, this is Arado, and thank you for listening, and see you in the next video.